It's a huge privilege for me to talk about SADACCA, a place, a community that I love so much. I joined SADACCA in 2014 as a volunteer chief exec, only because I've heard on the news, just like many of you here, that the building was taken because due to mismanagement, we were $500,000 in debt, and Section 146 was given to the management here to say, vacate, you guys can look after the building. I've heard it at the time I was working for the local government as a mathematics consultant. I've said, this is a place in Sheffield that I love so much. What can I do? I decided to quit my job and to come to the council, have a meeting and say, I want to have a go. That's how I joined SADACCA as a volunteer chief exec. I'm still a volunteer. In 11 years, I've never received a payment. I'm here only because I love the community and I love solving problems. My knowledge of SADACCA, the beautiful history of this community, and a unique trolley will always be linked to what we call the Windrush generation. People who arrived to this great country in early 1955, invited as citizens, as British citizens, to come and contribute to the effort to rebuild our country. And many of them came from the Caribbean at large, from Africa, from America, pretty much all over the world. And I've heard many of them throughout my 11 years, their story. They were very enthusiastic coming here. And the reason why I say it, because at the time, for a lot of story that I've heard, the country wasn't always welcoming to them. But out of all this, they created a community. And the first name that was given to the organization was the Everyone Center. Then I often say this, imagine living in a place where no one wants you, no Dutch, no Irish, no, still you name your own organization, the Everyone Center. This was SADACCA back in early 55. That was the name, the Everyone Center. And it's still visible in Sheffield, where I would talk to people from the Pakistanis community. They would say to me, yes, we started from the Somali community and so on, pretty much from the Irish community, and they're still here, part of SADACCA. Then they started the organization as the Everyone Center, right up to 2000, right up to 1980. It was the Everyone Center. This is so powerful, knowing Sheffield now, where we all living in probably much in silos. But back then, SADACCA was a oneness community. You would see the Pakistanis community here. You would see the Somali, the Irish community, and the British as well, all in one. And it is something that we want to create now. The reason why I say this is because I want to describe SADACCA just like a sinusoid, ups and downs. Then at the time, very challenging circumstances, but people see unity among human beings. And it was great when those people who are in the 90s now, who come here talk about SADACCA, a place that they love so much. At the time, the main objective of the center coming together was mainly social. They won't truly have an educational services and the business. They were coming here to celebrate their own culture and meet the friend and enjoy. Right up to 1980, SADACCA changed direction. Then they were not based here, but they identified this place in 1980 with the help of the council and the community coming together. They started to do a lot of work. This used to be the headquarters of Samuel Osborne. Samuel Osborne, many of you will know Samuel Osborne, one of Sheffield's greatest industrialists, and he was even one of the master callers for the city. But this was his headquarters. It wasn't looking like this. It's a place that was very derelict when you look at the picture back in early 70s of this. But the community made it home today. And a lot of them, and I still give credit to those people because they were not just part of one community. It was Sheffield together, coming here and trying to rebuild what we call today a community, a true sense of community. This is very important. From 1980, SADACCA then have as main core purpose, education and care in the community. Mainly education, because it was placed for those who were left behind to come here and link with Sheffield College, Sheffield Polytechnic, Sheffield University, and have access to some of the courses. Because those ones didn't probably have the grade to go directly to a good university, but they will come here in SADACCA and have a lot of learning that will actually enable them to access the university. That was mainly what SADACCA was known at the time, and also as a social club. having different management, people with different knowledge and different expertise. It then moved as well in early 90s to the care. We then acquire some SRB money to build the daycare. If you guys got the chance to do it too, I will show you around. We built the daycare center of SADACCA, which is well known, twice best daycare in South Yorkshire. We built it it was opened in 1997. From 1997, it is well known in Sheffield as an outstanding daycare that target those who are truly left behind, those with culturally care, those who need the care that is not accessible on the NHS. They're still here with us. And at large, that community come from the Windrush community. Their needs are very complex. We all know that ethnicity and unequal care or unequal aging is also there to see. But here in SADACCA, we got that expertise. We know exactly what is required to improve their health, and that's what we deliver to them. I just want to fast forward. Then SADACCA, just like many other community organizations in Sheffield, were funded by the local government or the local council, mainly the local council. From 2007, that fund were not available anymore, not just for SADACCA, but for many communities here. And in 2012, all direct funding to local community organizations ceased to stop. This have a negative impact to organizations like SADACCA, because from 2012, imagine living into a large premises like this, and you don't receive any direct funding from local council to actually operate. That's when the management didn't know what to do. They probably didn't have the expertise. Then they accumulate a lot of debt, and in 2014, the debt was around $500,000. It wasn't just their fault, because when you look into why they accumulated debt, they were charged, and they still charged. There were a rent to pay, nearly 60,000 in rent a year. And this was a lease signed with the council, which we found a bit unfair for a community organization to pay a rent to the region of exactly £58,900. That's what is still, and the lease is still operating. That's what we still on. Then this was completely unfair, but it's not the same moving forward, because we're talking with the council to change all this and to explain what happened. Then I joined in 2014 when SADACCA was truly in debt. The building wasn't looking like this. It was completely derelict. No company was even insured the building. It needed a lot of funding, but above all, it needed a new direction of travel to a community organization. I believe, myself and the team believe, that we got the knowledge to do so. We presented the new business plan in 2015 to the council, which they agree for a 5-year try and say, go there and we'll see what we're gonna do. For me, straight away, it was a change. It was a lot of new learning for the community. It was, first of all, for the community to redefine the notion of community. What is a community? Is it a community of race, or is it people coming together to do something and improve outcome for all? Or what is it exactly? This is still ongoing, and it's probably, for me, the greatest challenge of defining the word community to a lot of people. Because now where SADACCA is SADACCA back in early, at the inception. That means SADACCA where it become a oneness, an everyone center. Because when you look at SADACCA now, it's not a community of people who look like me or look like you. It's a community of everyone, regardless of your sexual orientation, regardless of your religion belief, regardless of your place of birth. It's the true meaning of the word community. And that's the single word, our deep understanding of community, that have made the greatest success in this place. Yes, and I have to push and bring a lot of solid leadership to embed that into anybody who worked here in SADACCA, that this is a place for everyone. The second component or determinant as well to the success of this place has been business in the community. I understood very well that our community at large, and mainly the younger generation, didn't have a deeper knowledge of business, something that would generate. They were very reliable on local council. And because the council as well is dry financially, there's no more money like back 30 years ago, then people will just label the council as being racist. They're racist because they're not giving us money anymore. They used to give us money, they're not giving anymore, and so on and so on. But no, I was saying to the people, life is tough, and you need now, and it's not just tough for SADACCA, it's tough for everyone, because at large in the country for the last 20 years, many community organizations have ceased to exist. In Sheffield, we used to have so many African Caribbean Community Association. But many of them, and not just in Sheffield, in Birmingham, just in the last 2 weeks, you heard the Marcus Garvey Center gone in Coventry, pretty much everywhere. It needs a lot of intelligentsia. It needs people who can turn it into business, who can generate money. If you fail to do that, there's no money for you. Then business in our community was very important. And it's probably one of the most important things that drive financially SADACCA, because we employ nearly 44 people. And we don't receive, in 12 years, we haven't received any direct funding. The council in 11 years has not been here to fix anything. We do everything ourselves. We employ, that means we got nearly 42 people in our book. And out of the 42, nearly 32 are in care. That means we develop what we call domiciliary care, going into people's homes and offer our services. And this is quite delicate in the sense of training the carer, advertising for the service, and going out there in community and get some of the hours and an exchange of money. Also, we work very closely. What we have done really is establish a very good partnership with both university, the NHS, the police, the council. We have to redefine what myself understand in this job is that partnership comes first. That means you can't do a blame game. You need to have partner. And in that sense, when you look at SADACCA partner now, compared to, we pretty much everywhere in all the top table. And we got that great understanding because we're very transparent. And we asking people, it's together that we will thrive. It's not just SADACCA here, because what failed organization like SADACCA is that the system was designed to place them in a box, and they happily accept to be in a box. And what I've suddenly realized is that if you accept to place yourself in a box, you're going absolutely nowhere. You need that circularity among community. We all diverse by nature, but you need everybody to work together. If you fail to work together, you can't achieve. And that's probably what myself in 11 years understand really, really well about community. I'm the chair of the VCS, the Voluntary and Community Leaders Forum in Sheffield. And this sort of language, we analyze it really, really well to understand the strength of Sheffield community. I'm extremely proud chairing the VCS for the last 4 years to say Sheffield community is exactly at the place where I would have dreamt for it to be. That means in a place where nobody is left on his own, where circularity is truly there, and community is not a place of interest, not just any particular interest. It's a place that should be open to everyone in this city to walk in and see what is happening. Then business in the community was very, very important. And we have done it very well. We work very close with SIMCA. We got consultants from SIMCA, consultants from Sheffield City Council, consultants from the university, who will come here and train our young people. I've got a team here of minimum 24 young people, and their job is only to understand the complexity of business. It's business that can improve outcomes, mainly outcome for a community like this that's been left behind by the system for many, many years. And in that sense, we're doing very well. One of the key objectives of SADACCA as well, I mentioned care, is education. Then three things identify SADACCA. You got business, you got care in community, and then education. In education, both university, the way they operate now with community have changed. And I've been one of the leaders in making the university change. In a sense that university, I can say this freely, they don't pay me and no one pay me. They have been complicit in maintaining inequality in the city. Because when you got two great universities, and when you look at the inequality gap in our city, where people are extremely rich and some extremely poor, and you got great places of knowledge, you ask yourself, what have they been doing for the last 40 years to minimize the inequality gap? Then right now, both university knows they're working, they change their model, they change their approach of working with communities in the sense that for the last 5 years, and they have seen it through the Race Equality Commission, that myself and colleague here in Sheffield wrote to Julie Doe at the time and asked for a community communication when it comes to tackling inequality. The way university work now, they will come into community, identify the problem, and work extremely hard to tackle that problem. A typical example is our involvement in SADACCA with Sheffield University for the last 7 years. We have collaborated on so many research, in so many targeted research for our community. One typical example where I'm a co-investigator is ethnicity and unequal aging. If you Google ethnicity and unequal aging, it was a 3-year program. I think we will complete the program in October this year. where the research was co-designed by SADACCA and the university. The university have to employ 10 community researchers from SADACCA, not just from the SADACCA community, but from the so-called BAME community, 10 of them who are paid by the university. And also, the way SADACCA benefit is that the university will use its knowledge to actually put out their fund for SADACCA to benefit and to grow. We're not asking the council for any money, but the university got the expertise to come into a community like this. You need us, you need our data to probably acquire a lot of money, but in return, what are the community benefiting? Then we rewrote the way university engage with community. And it's not just seen in SADACCA now. If you go to ISRA, I know very well, it's pretty much the same. You go to Fairville Community Hub, it's all the same. They just don't use community anymore. When they come into community, in return, they got to define, first of all, what the community will gain. And it's so much important for community that's been left behind that the university put a lot of the effort there. For us, it's the best way to minimize, to tackle that inequality. University need to play a good part. And in that sense, we turn community organization into learning centers. When I look across Sheffield, all community organizations now are learning in the community, the center of excellence in community learning. It's not back 20 years ago where a community center like SADACCA will be known for the wrong reason, a place where people will come every weekend and have a drink and dance and so on. No, I challenge a lot of young people. If you're talking about learning, if you want to improve your knowledge of the city, your learning, come to SADACCA. There's so many learning programs. I will direct you. I'm a mathematician by training, and I'm extremely proud that one of the things that I've done here and done it freely for the last 11 years, undergraduate student in mathematics, in physics, further math student, A-level student, I've come here and received free tuition from me. I don't charge. And I've linked not with Sheffield University, but this year I want Sheffield University or even Sheffield Hallam Mathematics Department to engage, because we do a lot of work with the social science department, but we haven't actually engaged with a core science department from both university. We have done it with Derby University, where we obtained some funding with the European Union. And Derby University lecturer came into the community in Sheffield to actually do problem solving. How can we model inequality and see the young people be proud to engage into this? Then we turn really community organization into center of excellence and having partners who are really solid. And that has been then in 2 years ago, we cleared the $500,000 debt that SADACCA had completely. We are now an organization that's running free of debt. Yes, we cleared that completely. And we are truly leading the way. We are leading the way. And there is a lot of knowledge. Myself being to so many places to talk about how we transform this community. And we're very, very proud that Sheffield can have a community, not just like SADACCA, but like ISRAP, like Fairville, like ZES, and everywhere. And all these leaders know exactly each organization really well and are working, but they're also diverse. Then diversity is a great thing because the world is diverse. We are not all the same, but circularity or pluralism, it is what we require. That yes, we are different, but we can work together to solve problems and improve the life of everyone in Sheffield. Thank you.